Hi, Beachwood Barracudas. This is Nicole Sparks, and I would like to take a few minutes and kind of show you the ropes on how to volunteer for a swim or dive meet. It is essential that we have volunteers to help us with our meets each week. That is because it's all run by parents, actually. Each team has to bring some volunteers to kind of help with just different aspects. And I know sometimes that can seem very, very daunting and almost intimidating just because maybe you've never done it before, or there might be a job that you're used to and it's full, and you're just a little nervous about reaching out and branching and trying something new. So I just kind of want to go through some of the different job listings or volunteer listings that are there, how to sign up, and just cannot stress the importance that each family does need to help with dive and swim meets when they pop up. It's kind of an all hands on deck type of event. And trust me, I've been there before where I've had a young little 4-year-old attached to my leg as I was timing meets. So we've all been there. And I promise you, more than likely, even at a meet, families will volunteer to kind of help either watch your child while you take on the volunteering opportunity or whatever it may be. So let me kind of show you where we're looking just so that you can see that. So once again, I'm in Team Unify here, and we're at the Beachwood Barracudas. And as you can see, just if I scroll down below, once again, we've got our meets here. And so earlier I went through and talked about how to declare your child for a swim meet. Now we're going to talk about these job sign ups. So as you can see, the ones that are red are ones that I've already kind of volunteered myself for. But let me kind of go show you what, here's today's swim meet, June 17th. At Beachwood. So once again, this is for that portion where you can check to see what your child has been declared and what events they will be swimming in. But sometimes we also need to chip in and help out too. And so let me show you that. That's right here underneath job signups. And so it looks daunting. There is a lot. I promise you, though, I've run most of them before and they're not hard, and people will help you out. Normally, either someone that is already there working one, or there is normally a veteran from maybe the other team that can kind of help walk through it. I promise you, you will not be alone and just thrown out to survive. They're not terrible though. So let's just kind of go through some of them here. So announcer is just as what it says. You would be announcing the event for the evening. It's pretty easy. It's pretty scripted. It normally is just saying, all right, divers take your mark or swimmers take your mark. This is event number 27, boys freestyle, ages 11 to 12, whatever it may be. So it's just announcing. So if you feel like you have a really great announcer voice, this is the volunteer position for you. We also have some backup timers. That's just in case if someone can't fulfill the duties, either the beginning or the second half. The meet is kind of broken up into two different parts. The first half is normally up to event 40, 42, somewhere in there. And then the second half goes all the way from 42 to 80. And with those two different breaks. It's not really a break. You'll hear the announcer normally say, all right, timers, we're going to switch. Can they just move the stop clocks to someone else? It's a really easy position to kind of get yourself used to the idea of what a swim meet looks like. The clerks of court are really important. It sounds super fancy, but pretty much you're a line leader. That's all that it is that you're going to just make sure that heat number 1, or let's say it's event number 27, that's the one that my son's swimming in, and he's in heat number 1. They're going to line all of the boys up that are in heat number 1 between Beachwood and whoever the opponent is, and then they're going to walk them behind the blocks or the pool where you start the race. And so they're literally just taking them there and putting them right behind the blocks, saying that, okay, you'll be swimming in the next two meets or two swim heats, whatever it may be. There's normally a couple of kids lined up behind the blocks so that you can keep the meet running pretty fast. So clerks of courts, fancy word for line leader. Some of the computer work is really easy. The programs are all there. Normally, someone will be there to help you out. And so you're just entering in times as the timesheets come in. It's a really easy process. If you can use a keyboard, you can do the computer operator of some portion. So if that's something you'd like to do, once again, please take that into consideration. Group parents are going to help those clerks of courts. They are just kind of like the corrallers, making sure that everyone is there and then putting them into the right lanes with the clerks of court before they walk them over to behind the block. So, clerk of court, group parents, kind of both line leaders, they're going to be working pretty well together. Meet setup is just what it sounds, is that you're going to help set up the whole pool for the meet for that evening. There is a little bit of labor intensive work just by moving some things, as you can see, moving some chairs, making sure that the lane lines get put together, probably setting up the table where the computers will be or the timers, all those types of things. The next job here is picker, and it is probably one of the easiest ones here. It's all you have to do is the timers behind the blocks that are timing each one of the race. There's normally about 4 or 5 races on a sheet of paper. When that sheet of paper is filled up with the times, you need to go pick them up and take them to the table where the computers are. It's as simple as that. You are a picker or like just taking it there. The ribbons is just sorting them out. So there will be a printer by the computer where little labels will be printed out. You'll be putting them on the ribbons and sorting them into the right piles so that the teams can take them back and distribute to them as needed. The starter for the first half and the second half reports. So there, these next ones, the starter, the stroke, and turns judge, those are all ones where you are just going to make sure that everyone has qualified correctly, or the better way to probably put it is like no one's DQ'd or disqualified because they might have started too early, or their stroke might not have been as proper as a breaststroke might be, or something of that sort. So this one here is something that is not terribly hard. You just kind of have to know those strokes to kind of help with that one. And then at the end are the timers. And once again, it's kind of like timers, and the clerks of courts and parents kind of help really make this run up. So the timers are just the parent volunteers that are assigned to each lane, and they are going to be in charge of just making sure that when the buzzer goes off, they hit the timer to start, and when the swimmer is finished, they stop the timer and then they write that time down. It is really a simple job. I find this one probably to be the most fun because you can actually like really just watch all of the races as well. So that was just kind of a quick rundown. You can always clearly ask, but just to kind of give you an idea, it's as simple as this to sign up. You just click on the box, and I always click sign up, and I'm going to say Nicole Sparks, and it's going to click sign up. And just to double check to make sure that I have it correct, I do. I'm signed in there for the second half timer. And so as you can see, there's quite a few spots here still available. Once again, any of them would be fine to kind of jump in. No one is here to judge, so we're all in the learning process together. But in order for these swim meets to work well, we need them to have volunteers. And so that is something really important that we're looking for each meet. It has been asked that each family volunteer for at least 4 of the different meets. And so, as you can see, if I go back to the main page, just to kind of show you, I did volunteer already for the one that was at Oak Brook. But as you can see, I've got different ones already signed up here. So not hard. Once again, just kind of go through and pick a few and make sure that you do this because it is, once again, important that we have our volunteers to help us out. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much.